afternoon, good evening. You are listening to Sutton Reactions, and I'm your host, SuttonDef. You might be listening either on the actual Sutton Reactions YouTube channel, or most of you I know are watching through the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. If you're part of the hashtag Rain Gang, shout out to you. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel as well if you do like content just like this. Again, this is episode 5 of this show. It feels like we're already getting up there, 5 episodes in, guys, of this reactions channel, this reactions show that I'm starting here, and I'm having a lot of fun with it with you guys. You know, of course, you guys know I do it live, so we can react to things in real time together. So if that sounds cool to you, make sure you hit that notification bell more than anything so you can catch when I do go live, because sometimes it varies. I haven't really nailed down a specific time that I want to do these yet. But again, I appreciate all the support from you guys. And again, if you want to send topics, things for me to react to, you can send that to my Twitter or Instagram at SuttonDef, like you can see down below. But yeah, today is Tuesday, December 16th. Got a couple of things I wanted to get through here, a couple of videos I want to share and kind of give you guys my opinions on what's going on. My guy Taurus in the chat, top of the morning to you. As you guys get in here, make sure you sound off. Let me know you're here. Of course, we love to know that the Rain Gang is in full effect, because I know that's where a lot of you guys are coming from right now. But okay, let's go ahead and get into some of the videos here today. What do we have today? What do we have today to react to? This first one is going to be about Max Kellerman debating Rich Paul about the modern state of the NBA and whether or not LeBron, who you know is Rich Paul's guy, or Jordan is the GOAT, you know, of basketball. So I definitely cannot wait to hear this. I haven't listened to the whole thing myself yet because I wanted to react to it live. But here we go. Here we go. Tila, I see you. What's going on? Moggs, what up, man?
Especially today, like there's no authentic identity to most teams today like it was back in the day.
Or like the Heat have an identity, right?
Well,
Like
the Heat is a system. They have sports system. They're gonna play.
But they changed their whole identity in terms of the way they play. But they have an identity. We're gonna play fast. We're gonna do it like this.
Well, before all that, you're gonna play right. That's why guys can go to the Heat and really do well. I mean, you take guys that was on the Heat, and then when you take them off the Heat and put them in a different environment, it's sometimes not the same. But going back to the
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pause it right there really quick, because you know something was interesting about what he said when he said, you know, the modern state of the NBA is like, it's not the same as it used to be. You know, I'm just gonna listen to the whole thing. Hold on, really quick, guys, because I agree with him. And what he's about to get into, I also think kind of contradicts his point, because he's gonna stick up for LeBron. Max Kellerman's gonna stick up for Michael Jordan, which is kind of surprising, to be honest with you, because Max is like known to be a LeBron guy. But hold on here. Let me actually share my other screen with you guys. Let's do that instead. There we go.
MJ, LeBron. MJ to me, number one. And by the way, I think decisively number one, and I think LeBron is decisively number 2. However, and obviously you feel differently. However, every now and then a guy comes along and you go, can he replace LeBron one day, for example?
Replace him where?
Replace MJ one day, for example, LeBron. LeBron came along, you're like, can he, like every now and then you put your eyes on a guy and you go, maybe that dude is the one who can displace Michael Jordan at the very top. And I haven't seen that happen yet. I think LeBron's come closest.
See, but here's my question.
But what I'm saying is Wemby is the new guy who I look at and I go, I just wonder, can he be known as the best player ever?
Now that I do agree with. Really quick. I mean, Wemby, he might be the next up to surpass all these guys. You know, what he's talking about, what he's saying, you know, LeBron is definitively the number 2. Michael Jordan is definitively the number 1 when we talk about greatest of all time. I agree with that, because I decipher the terms greatest and best. I differentiate those terms, right? What I mean is, I think that the greatest of all time is somebody who reached the highest of highs when it comes to cultural influence, the way that Jordan did with the sneakers, of course, going to 6 titles and winning all 6, or 6 championship series and winning all 6 of them, never lost, left the sport for a little while, then came back and won more championships. That's greatness. All of those things put together are greatness. And he was a guy who was just a clutch killer. I mean, not LeBron, but Michael Jordan, you can give him the basketball at the end of any game, right? And just tell him to go win it. And I know he had a lot of missed game winning shots as well, but he's a guy who he did it pretty damn consistently, especially in big moments. Right? So that's why I think Jordan is the greatest. I think LeBron is the best of all time because I think he has the most tools in the toolbox, right? He can do everything. He can score, he can pass, he can rebound, he can assist, he can shoot, he can dunk. You know what I mean? He was an athletic freak. He was all those things. That's why I think he's the best. But I definitely agree here with Max when we talk about the greatest. But let's continue.
LeBron came along, you're like, can he, like, every now and then you put your eyes on a guy and you go, maybe that dude is the one who can displace Michael Jordan at the very top. And I haven't seen that happen yet. I think LeBron's come closest.
See, but here's my question.
But what I'm saying is Wemby is the new guy who I look at and I go, I just wonder, can he be known as the best player ever one day if he stays healthy? Because his impact on the court is ridiculous.
That's a fact.
See,
He was not having a great game, and and they beat the Thunder.
yes, but let me ask you a question. When I was a kid, right, and I had a ton of trophies. I was a pretty decent muni league sports player, and I would get my trophies and I would put them up, and I would get another trophy and put it up there. I never took a trophy down. So when you talk about replace, it's like, no, Michael Jordan's up there. If someone else comes along and they go on the same shelf as Michael Jordan, which is i.e. LeBron, you put him up there. Kobe goes up on the shelf with Michael Jordan. I now think Steph Curry goes up on the shelf with those guys.
If you think Steph Curry is on the same shelf with Michael Jordan,
I think Steph.
There's room to make that argument. Max Kellerman, you cannot sit there and act like there's no room to make the argument that Steph Curry should not be on the same shelf, I guess you could say, figuratively speaking, like the same level as Michael Jordan. When we talk about greatest, because again, I think a part of being the greatest is your influence, and the way that Steph Curry influenced the game, where now everybody literally has to be able to shoot on the floor. Everybody. Positions 1 through 5, point guard through center. Everybody's got to be able to shoot. If you can't, you're not valuable enough to get minutes in the league. That's because of what Steph Curry brought to the league. The greatest shooter of all time. Hands down, it's not even a debate. Right? And 3-point shooter at that. There's definitely room for that conversation. There's no way that Max Kellerman should be trying to shut this down here.
Here's what I think. I didn't say Steph Curry was as good as Michael Jordan. I'm saying
they're not on the same shelf.
For what? If there's different trophies, man. It don't have to be a 7-foot. If Michael Jordan's trophy is 7 foot tall and Steph Curry's trophy is 5 feet tall, and they're on the same shelf, what does that mean?
So what I'm saying is, if Michael Jordan's trophy is 7 feet tall, and to me LeBron's trophy is 6'11", but when I looked at LeBron, I thought, is that going to be a 7'1" trophy? I look and I wound up 6'11", pretty close.
Okay, let me give you a different analogy.
I'm saying I look at Wemby.
So they're kind of, again, talking in these weird analogies to try to communicate with each other in that video, which was kind of weird. But I think that Rich Paul's point is that, like, all of these guys can coexist on the same level, and like I guess he's just not with the, I guess you could say, ranking them in any particular order. I think that's the argument that they're having here that they're not really getting to. Rich Paul is like, hey, look, like, we can put Michael Jordan right next to LeBron James and Steph Curry and, all these other guys, right? And it's fine. And we don't have to, like, be judging them and ranking them in order. Meanwhile, Max Kellerman is arguing like, oh, no, it's without a doubt MJ first and then everybody else after that in whatever order. And I think he's saying LeBron is in, second, things like that. So I don't really think that they necessarily disagree with each other here. I just think that Rich Paul knows that MJ is considered widely like the GOAT, but LeBron James is Rich Paul's guy, right? And so he's going to always err on the side of, LeBron, which is fine. Totally fine. Torres says it's subjective, the GOAT debate, no matter the sport. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But I always like to give my piece on the difference between what I think the greatest, who I think the greatest is, and who I think the best of all time is, right? Like, for example, let's flip it to football. For example, Tom Brady is considered the greatest quarterback of all time, like hands down, right? What's going on, Zeke? What's up, Shelly? Appreciate y'all for coming through. But Tom Brady is considered the greatest quarterback of all time, right? He's got 7 rings. He's got a ring for every day of the week. I still don't think that he would be considered the best of all time if, let's say, Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes already has 3 Super Bowls. I think if Pat Mahomes were to win at least maybe 1 more Super Bowl, right, and put him at 4, and let's say Lamar Jackson maybe wins a couple, it's fair to say, I think it'll be very fair to say that those guys, Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson, or hell, maybe even a Josh Allen, are better football players than Tom Brady. They may not be the greatest, because the greatest, that comes with like the top of the top, all the accolades that you can possibly get. I mean, again, Brady's got 7 rings, every one for every day of the week, right? But I still think that he was lacking in some areas. Like there were some tools that he lacked that some of these newer generation quarterbacks, they have, like the rushing ability and just the athleticism, on top of being able to be pure pocket passers. When it's all said and done, I'm just saying that those guys could be considered pound for pound better athletes, right, with some accolades to go with it, than Tom Brady. And somebody could say, oh, they're better than Tom Brady was, just not greater. Greater is just, you reach the pinnacle of the sport so many times, nobody can deny your greatness. That's what Tom Brady is. And Pat Mahomes is not far off from that. I know Pat Mahomes, injured himself on Sunday. Chiefs have been having a down year, but they were just about to go back to back to back last year if they hadn't lost that Super Bowl. And I definitely think that they're not going anywhere. I think that Mahomes will be back healthy next year. And again, like I said, if he bounces back and he wins, another championship, doesn't even have to be 2, but just maybe even just 1 more championship, and he looks like Mahomes, it'd be fair to say, I mean, yeah, he's better than Brady. He may not be greater all time, but he had more tools in the toolbox than Brady did. I think that's fair to say. Brady's top 5 to me, but not number 1. That's kind of crazy, Taurus. You got to be number 1. Marino was considered the best, but never won a chip. See, there you go. There you go. There's a difference between the best and the greatest. There just is. There just is. Let me see. Mahomes not bouncing back. LOL, ACL injury this late in his career. LOL, he won't be the same. Didn't Brady have a significant leg injury at this very point in his career, like 9th season? It was either his ACL or his calf that he tore, because they had to throw in Matt Castle after that, and it just wasn't the same. The Patriots were just ass all year that year. They had a down year. But no, I think he can definitely bounce back. I think he can definitely bounce back for sure. He's one of them. He's definitely one of them. Ashley, what's going on? Corey, good morning to y'all. All right, let's move on. That was a good conversation. Good little convo right there. I always like to kind of, talk about that Jordan versus Bron debate, who's the greatest versus who's the best, because there's definitely a difference. There's definitely a difference. All right. Okay. So let's bring this up next. What video do we have next? What are we reacting to next, guys? Let's see. So this is going to be a video about, it's actually a reaction video to Odell Beckham Jr. Speaking on a podcast. I think it was the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and those guys a couple of weeks ago, or maybe just last week, where he was saying like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that athletes get paid a lot more than they do. And he was basically going on to say like $100 million isn't $100 million, which I know to us sounds absolutely ridiculous, Because you're talking about $100 million, Odell Beckham Jr., and you're saying that's not enough after it gets broken down by taxes, and then you got to, your house, and you got to take care of your family and your extended family and all that. It's like, I'm gonna get into the video. Let's get into the video because Carmelo Anthony actually shot him some bail and kind of talked about how maybe he is right a little bit. Like maybe $100 million isn't enough for these athletes. What's going on, Coach? Appreciate you for coming through, man. Let me see. So let's go ahead and play this.
You could tour, and I mean, you can perform shit for as long as people, you got relevancy and whatnot, and people want to still hear you. But shit, you can only run that ball gonna keep bouncing for so long, bro.
Your last shot,
shit.
I feel like Odell caught a lot of heat for that this week, right? I think he was on the pivot, and I think he's talking about how $100 million ain't really $100 million, and how he ran through it, and I think Shannon Sharp, I think Chad Ochocinco, they were just like, nah, like how does that happen?
Well, $100 million. That's $100 million. Let's not get that.
It's not 100.
See, here we go. Carmelo he about to give it to us now. He about to tell us why $100 million really ain't $100 million. Let's listen.
But it's not really $100 million in over a 5-year span.
Pay attention, y'all.
Right? Like you talking about taking 58 to 60%, 58% or 48%, half your check. Right? So that 10 goes to 5 over 5 years. Right? So now within that 5, now you got other taxes that you got to pay.
Pay taxes in every state you play in.
Right? So now you got taxes alone that's going to hit you. Boom. You can't do nothing about that.
Right.
Then you got to live. You got to get a house. You're going to take care of your moms.
4% agency fee.
You got your agency fee, right? So you got all of this shit that's happening within that $5 million now, because you ain't working with 10, you're working with 5. So now you got to bust down to 5.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you telling you yes, you got to change your lifestyle, but your lifestyle changes drastically.
100%.
And that drastic lifestyle change fucks you up mentally.
Traumatized.
Right? That's the gray area that fucks a lot of athletes.
Real quick. Because I get what he's saying, but respectfully, hell no. Hell to the no. I mean, look, I think the biggest issue that these athletes are having and why they end up struggling financially or finding themselves in a situation where, they had nowhere near as much money as they did before, whatever, is that these guys come up playing a children's game since a young age, right? Everybody coddles them, makes them feel like they're the next up, tells them, hey, focus on your craft, focus on basketball, focus on football, keep grinding. Eventually you're going to make it. Eventually they do make it. And eventually they do get that bag. But nowhere along the way did anybody teach these guys even an ounce of financial literacy. Some of the guys do have it. Some of the guys are smart enough from where, when they're young, because that's the thing. These kids are getting these huge lump sums of cash at 23, 24 years old. Right? And like, that's not the age to be responsible with your money. Because if we're being honest here, I mean, they're talking about, $100 million. You got to bust that down to $50 million and you got to bust that and bust it. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, you're still making more than 99.9% of American citizens. Just sticking to America. You're talking about, you got to buy a house. And it's like, okay, the average American who owns a house, average homeowners, they don't make even a fraction of what you're making after you have to bust down this and bust down that and bust down that. They don't even make a fraction. And they're still comfortably living in their home. So like these kind of like menial expenses to $100 million athlete is just kind of like, it's coming off as like, okay, what are you not telling us that you spent your money on? You know what I mean? Because I get you got to buy a house. I get you got agency fees. I get you got to, pay taxes in every state that you play and stuff like that, which I didn't even know, but it makes sense. Like I get it's a lot of money that you got to split a lot of different ways. But you can't tell me that, after a couple of years or so, and I guess another issue, well, let me finish my point. You can't tell me that that's not enough money but I guess another issue is the fact that these guys, and I guess like an Odell Beckham Jr. in this scenario, he probably thought he was going to make a lot more money than he ended up making. Think about around like the 2016 season. You guys remember that season when Odell came to Baltimore, or we went to New York and he torched us? That was like probably like prime Odell. You know what I mean? When he was like considered top 3 wide receivers in the league. Then I think he got hurt a couple times. Ended up with Cleveland. That didn't really go well. And then, of course, got bounced around a little bit more after that and just never really got that second really big contract, that I'm sure that he was probably banking on, But his longevity, that's why the NFL stands for not for long. You got to strike while the iron's hot. You got to save that money. And you can't just splurge. And that's another thing. Like guys like Odell Beckham Jr., who not only had the money, he was famous. Well, he still is famous and very, very popular, like wildly popular. So I'm sure like he was always out in the spots and, doing this and that. You guys remember the yacht video and all that? I'm sure he was splurging. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not trying to count his pockets, but I could just tell from what he posted. There were signs. There were signs. Let's take a quick break here. See what y'all are saying in the chat. Let me see here. You better take some pointers from D-Hop. Sip to Tally says, bought 4 sweatsuits from Costco for $80. See, there you go. There you go. $20 a sweatsuit. Love it. Are we talking about all the places with deals in the chat? World Class 9 says, I worked in financial services. Next to nobody is financially literate. Athletes are no different. This is true. This is true. But like Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility, and somebody along the way should have taught him that. Hell, I mean, in college, they should have, when these kids go to college, like they should have special programs for athletes, like where you have to attend special classes that teach you these sort of things, right? That kind of teach you the ropes of how to manage your money, because you're about to come into a different level of money than what a lot of people are used to, than what most people are used to. So you need this knowledge on how to not be broke by 28. You know what I mean? Like that's, or 30. That's what needs to happen, if you ask me. Nothing wrong with modesty, that's for sure. They be splurging though. You don't have to wear $20,000 outfits every day. I mean, I'm saying Odell was going for it. He was going for it. But let's keep listening.
He's up. Okay. Because they sit in this space of transitioning from having this to now got to budget on a day-to-day basis. I got to budget how I'm going to pay my mortgage. I got to budget how I'm going to pay my car note. I got to budget on food. Like, it's a lot of shit that you almost become back. You got to come back to reality now.
Right.
Because now you ain't got the bread. You got to be honest.
Modest and honest. You got to live up
with yourself.
Yes.
And you got to be willing to accept that. So I feel what Odell is saying. Years ago, Spreewell said, I can't live off $7 million a year.
Yeah,
remember that?
Thought he was crazy.
People thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
It's not crazy because everything is relevancy, right? If you're going to live this, if you here and you live in this lifestyle, over 5-7 years, 100 million is not 100 million.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the type of lifestyle that you subscribe to. Which package did you buy when it comes to the lifestyle? If you signed up for the lavish and luxurious package, where you got 2 homes and 3 vacation homes, and you know what I mean, like you going on trips and you sending other people on trips, and you breaking off money to this, that, and the third person every month and all that. If you signed up for that package, then yeah, $7 million a year might not do it for you, right? So he is right. I mean, it's all about relevance to, what you got going on. But again, that's why the financial literacy needs to be taught. Shelly says they don't teach that, Sutton. My father was a coach back when there was no NIL, and they get into the league and go crazy, family coming out of the woodwork with their hands out. Yeah. And that's a big issue for me. That's a big issue. I don't know why. I mean, the likes of who would be just college football or the Dublin NCAA or whoever, like, make sure that there are parameters set for these kids who are coming out of college, because pretty much everybody's going through college now. Nobody's really coming out of high school. But so make sure that when these guys get into a college, they have to actually learn about this financial literacy, and not just regular financial literacy for the average American. I'm talking about for professional athletes who are going to be making a different type of money, like in a different stratosphere than most of us. I think that might be where the disconnect is, to be honest with you. Because a lot of these kids, again, they're only focused on, playing ball, right? And outside of that, just being popular. These kids, they go on college campuses and they're like larger than life. Even after they leave college, right, and they get into the league, they're like larger than life. They have a huge social media following. And I feel like they pay more attention to that and the influence that they have with that over than, their own finances and their own well-being, So that's an issue. That's an issue. There needs to be a connection there, because there's a big disconnect. Huge disconnect. Coach says it's mandatory in Florida now. Financial literacy classes, that'd be cool if that was everywhere. Coach says Beast Mode didn't touch his game checks while he was playing. Yeah, there's a couple guys who were real frugal with their money, which is good. You got Beast Mode. Chad Ochocinco famously talks about that all the time, how he used to literally live in the stadium, in the Bengals stadium, right? So I guess he didn't have to pay for housing, right? They had a little facility in there, and he just lived at the stadium. That's actually pretty dope. Even to this day, he don't really spend money like that. Let me see. All right, let's go ahead and finish up this video.
Mm-hmm. You're not even seeing 50 of that million at all.
Crazy.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of shit that comes into play with that. Now, if you fuck that up,
well, that other half, yeah.
I was about to say,
if you fuck whatever that is up, that's on.
Juxtapose that to what happened with Bad.
That's what we're missing here. They fucked up the rest of the money that they had. You started out with 100 million. You ended up, after breaking everything off and everybody off, you got 50 million. And you blew through $50 million. It's still no excuse.
See, you know what I mean? And the way that's happening.
I with Bassie, I don't like that nobody is reaching out or saying, yo, come on, let's talk, let's chop it up, because we a fraternity.
Like how
right? You're not gonna fuck with everybody.
My joint is like, how is he not like as somebody like running somebody's camp, or like, Adidas ain't paying him to be like,
that's the relationship.
Okay. And this is why he's feeling that way, probably. Yo, Adidas, I was the face of your brand at 15 years old.
Right.
Like I played in the league now. I got pension now. You know what I mean? I got almost 10 years in the league, or 10 years in the league. So I did what I was supposed to do. Right? From high school, as a high school phenom, a little kid family, basketball royalty. You made it out of that, and you did 10 years in the NBA. You had a career.
Right.
So now on the flip side of that, everybody has their moments when they down, but nobody is really, people that was next to him and really rocking with him and fucking with him.
Right.
That's the sad reality of this shit.
But that question, why, would have to be asked to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would have to be.
And a lot of it is it's self-indulging. Like it's self-sabotaging. Like we self-sabotage ourselves.
From the outside looking in, it feels like, from the outside looking in, it looks like as an athlete, you have to feel like the ego has to take a check before
we self-sabotage ourselves as an athlete.
Right.
We just, that's what we do. Right. We self-sabotage. We our biggest critics. We our biggest hater. So that's why I'm here athlete. Anybody say, man, fuck them niggas. We don't care about what they say. They really don't. We really don't, because you ain't gonna say nothing that's gonna hurt me more than how I already feel about a certain situation.
That's great. Yeah. That's
you get what I'm saying? So I just hope this situation, Bassie being able to open up and really, tell his story.
A pivot. Yeah. I think he made a pivot.
So now he realized, okay, and he made mistakes.
Or
he put himself in a lot of situations.
The video joint he's putting.
He put himself in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, and they started kind of having like a deeper conversation here, and I think it kind of speaks to what my guy Coach was just saying in the chat. Says, wish they saw like the younger generations, the younger kids saw the importance of, I guess, the financial literacy. 10th graders don't care. Yeah, and the reason why they don't care is because it's not cool. You know, like it's not cool to save money and to be thinking about the future and stuff down the line. It's what is cool is those edits on TikTok, those sports edits, right? And you know, imagining yourself like one day playing football or playing basketball and somebody being able to make a cool highlight video of you and you're wildly famous and you've got 3.6 million followers on Instagram, and you know, that's what's cool. That's what they aspire to be, which is why somebody literally, I mean, there just needs to be better role models. You know, we need to see more examples of guys who don't live beyond their means and just really focus on all lifestyle stuff, right? And they focus on making the good choices in life. There's just not enough of that at the forefront of our media. You know, you don't get that stuff on TikTok, right? It's all like brain rot, brain mush. You know what I mean? Like it's just video after video of like, hey, your life should be like this. Your life could be like that. You know what I mean? If you work hard enough, you can get famous one day. Like nobody's thinking about, you know, saving money or anything like that. It's just not cool. It's not cool, which is why the 10th graders don't care. Coach, you know, it's sad too. It's sad too because you got a lot of athletes who end up getting, again, fucked up off of that. It sucks. Torres says, you pick your friends, take accountability. LOL. Yeah, that's true. It's just that I guess when you get up to that level of status, you can have people come into your life who disguise themselves as one thing, right? And then down the line, you end up breaking off this person 20 grand a month just for no reason. You forgot the reason, right? But yeah, people can be deceptive. People can be deceptive, man. Let me see. Social media tells them the more money you have, the better your life will be. You'll get the women, the notoriety, the fame, the popularity. They want that to feel seen, good or bad. Yeah, it's clout. It's clout. It's a hell of a drug, you know? They'll do anything to get it. Do anything to get it. Yeah. Social media is all a facade. People only let you see what they want you to see. Yeah, and that's the issue. Nobody at all is posting their L's. Nobody's posting the realities of life on social media. That's why everybody's chasing this image and doing whatever they need to get there. It's almost like the popularity. Like, remember back in the day when people used to ask the question like, would you want fame or riches? Right? Most of us used to just say, yeah, let me just be rich. You know, you can keep the fame. Nowadays, I feel like this younger generation, like these younger kids, they'll take the fame. They value that influence, right? Because we live in a society now where like influence is currency, right? You can directly take your influence and turn that into monetary value, right? But it's just about like, I don't know, it just feels like they value the fame more than the money that comes off of it. So, you know, all about the engagement, all about the engagement. But let's go ahead and move on to another video here. Let's see. That was a good talk. That was a good talk. Actually, World Class says here, when financial literacy was broken down to me, I turned the TV and radio off on 2007. Of 10th graders, I heard what I was taught at 20 years old, they'd care. Oh. Yeah, more people need to know what you know. More kids need to know. Honestly, it needs to be taught like from like elementary school all the way up. You know, if you want a more like high functioning society, which I guess capitalism doesn't really want. I guess you want people making a lot of mistakes with their money, because money mistakes honestly make the world go round. If we're being honest with you, like people spending money on things that they do not need kind of helps the world go round. You know, so I don't think that financial literacy is something that they want everybody to know. When I say they, I mean, you know, the powers to be. That's a deeper conversation though. Deeper conversation. Next video here. Speaking about financial literacy, this one right here.
I don't fucking understand how there's barbers that are still not charging $100 knowing their worth. You're not selling haircuts. You're selling confidence. That's what it is. Confidence. Getting clients to pay $100 is not that fucking hard. All you have to do is sell the experience and confidence when they sit in your chair. So that's how I charge $100. I'm selling an experience and I'm selling confidence to them. That's why I'm always having clients coming to me every weekly and bi-weekly, because I sell confidence. When they leave my chair, they feel good about themselves. Now, when you feel good about something, you don't even care what the price is, because you know what it makes you feel, and you feel like a different person. That's why they want to pay $100. So stop trying to make your haircuts the most blurriest fades you possibly can, and focus on selling confidence and actually listen to your clients on what they want and solve the problem.
I want the blurriest fade you can give me. What is he talking about? What is bro on right now? What is bro on? He just said stop worrying about trying to give the best haircut and just tell him it looks good afterwards. Is basically what he said. Like, just hype him up. Just say, hey, look, bro, you look cute after this haircut. That's basically what he just said. You know, you can do a half-assed job, but don't focus on, you know, the mastery of your craft. Just tell him he looks cute afterwards. Sell him some confidence, you know, and then he'll pay you $100. It's like, what kind of clientele? What in the hell he got going on, y'all? I really don't. I have no idea what he got going on. You think you're talking about $100 for a cut? I remember, you know, back when I was a young lad. When I was a young lad, I used to get my hair cut for about what, $20, $25, you know, at the most. Now I pay the standard like 50, maybe, you know, $60 with the tip sometimes, but like $100, man, when it gets to that point, it's like I just can't even justify, you know what I mean? Because most men, you know, you're gonna go to get your hair cut like every 2 weeks, something like that. At $100 a pop, that's a $200 a month bill, right? Just on cutting hair, like getting my hair cut. At that point, man, I mean, I think barbers, man, you might be starting to price yourself out of, you know, the average consumer's pockets, you know, and people are going to start learning to cut their own hair. That's going to be the next trend, the next wave, like knowing how to cut your own shit and doing it for free. Like that's going to be the next wave at this rate. Because $100, and he talking about, oh, I'm selling confidence. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really trying to buy, you know, you telling me that I look good, right? Like, give me the crispiest fade possible, right? The nice lineup, and let me get out of here for about $50, right? And I can't tell nobody to charge whatever for their services, but it's like, the way you're trying to market it, bro, it's like he really said at the end of the video, like, don't really matter. It's like, stop trying to focus on getting the best fades, you know, and just sell confidence. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. King Blaze says, I'm cutting my own hair as we speak. That's hilarious. Shout out to you, man. I need to learn myself. Tila says DIY gang for sure. For sure. I can get a baddie to twist my hair for $40. $40 ain't bad for a retwist. That's really not bad. Used to be 20. That's what I'm saying, Ashley. Used to be 20. I used to love that. So I wish I would need confidence from another man. Which is why I'm saying, bro, that's crazy. It's crazy. Which is why I really feel bad for the ladies, man, because the ladies will go and get their hair did, and it'll be like a couple $100, you know, depending on the style. And like, I know they probably last a little bit longer and whatnot, but like, still, like, that's a little steep. That's a little steep, you know. But nah, man, somebody need to get these barbers in check, man. because $100 is crazy. Tori says I pay $50 now. I used to be 25. Went to the Asians. LOL. Then 40. Yeah, it's slowly going up everywhere. Yeah, $50. $50. $50, man. Play on men's feelings and disrespect the crowd. Yeah, I mean, the only way I could see myself paying $100 for a haircut is if it's like a house call, right? Like if I ask you to come to my home, right, and I'm in the comfort of my own home, and you chop me up right there, then yeah, $100 is that's I think that's worth it. Y'all think that's fair? $100 for a house call? I think that's worth it. But $50 to go into the shop, you know what I'm saying? I have an appointment, but I go into the appointment, it's still, you're not even ready yet. You still like 10 minutes. You need 10 minutes on your last cut before I can get in the chair, and then I gotta pay $100. That's crazy. That's crazy for like 45 minutes of work. And it's like, again, can't tell people what to charge for their services, but like for my money, hey man, I ain't got it like that. I ain't got it like that. Moggs said I'm paying 30 tops. I mean, where you going though, Moggs? I mean, like, who is charging $30 for a cut? Like it. I don't know who's charging $30 for a cut, especially if you get in the fade. See, I got the beard, guys. I mean, the beard normally be a little bit extra, which is why I don't mind paying like $50, $60. You know what I'm saying? I get all the way right, get up here, get my beard, all that. But 30 is a crazy deal. That's a crazy deal. Shelly says, yeah, my hair is a bill. I come out paying at least $150, and that's a cheap day. Man. And then Tila says, not gonna lie, I just paid a couple $100 for my braids. LOL. See. I don't see how y'all do it, man. And y'all, I mean, how long does it last though? That's what I want to know. How long does it last? Coach says, ball gang. I know that's right, Coach. Ball gang. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's gonna be me one day. Don't worry about it. Let me see. Asmodeus says I pay $100 for mine. Woo! Asmodeus got that money. Shout out to Asmodeus, man. Another member here in the house, and Asmodeus is also a moderator now in the chat. So we got two of our moderators in here. We got Asmodeus and Tila in here. Shout out to them holding it down when they come through to the streams. Appreciate it. Let me see. Every 4 to 6 weeks, a couple months if you take care of it. Oh, see, that's not bad then. You know what I'm saying? Every 4 to 6 weeks or a couple months, that's not bad. That's more manageable. See, if it was like as often as guys going to the hair, boy, I tell you. Yeah, man. Drop some questions in the chat, guys. Drop some questions in the chat as we wrap this one up. What questions we got? Any and everything. I don't got any more videos today. I still need you guys to send me some more topics to my Twitter and Instagram. SuttonDef, you guys can see it right down there. Honored to be a mod in here. Honored to have you a mod, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Thankful to work from home, or else y'all would never see me. Yeah, that's what's up. I love that. That you can multitask and help us out here while you're on the clock. Love that. As Mog says, Asmodeus, OBJ needs you, bro. Oh yeah, we just got done talking about how OBJ doesn't think $100 million is enough. But see, OBJ, I guarantee you, OBJ wasn't paying anywhere under probably $300 to $500 for a haircut. Promise you. And these celebrity barbers be the worst. I'm telling you, the celebrity barbers be the worst because they cut a couple of different celebrities, and then the price for normal people goes up double to triple. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, I promise you, Odell Beckham Jr. his haircuts was probably at least $300 to $500, at least. Coach with the question in the chat. Question: what is the nastiest thing you've eaten? The nastiest thing I've ever eaten is potato salad. I cannot stand potato salad. It is one of the worst foods on the planet. It's an absolute abomination of a combination of things where you have lettuce and mayonnaise and just no. And potato, no. No, bro. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing. It's honestly making me want to puke just thinking about it. I got to take a sip of coffee just to get the taste out of my mouth. Jesus, man. Potato salad is horrible. You guys like that stuff? Y'all like potato salad? Oh, no. Oh, no. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are insane. Insane. Potato salad is wild, though. Ashley, right? Or are you on my side or are you on their side? There we go. Oh, you're on their side. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, my gosh. Is it lettuce that goes in it? What's the vegetable that goes in it, Coach? Because I thought it was lettuce, potatoes, and mayonnaise. Or is it what is it then? I just hate it. I can't stand it. I don't like the texture. I don't like the taste, the smell. Nothing. Another one for me. Deviled eggs. Can't stand deviled eggs. Terrible. Absolutely disgusting. I love eggs, but deviled eggs, get them out of my face. First of all, they stink. Second of all, they're not fulfilling. They're just not good. They're just not good at all. I got a bunch of food takes. For y'all. The celery. Relish is even worse. Jeez, man. And see, that's the thing. I'm normally a coleslaw is nasty too. Get it the hell out of here. King Lee, absolutely right. Get him the hell out of here. Chitlins are good. See, I can't even really talk about that. I've never had chitlins before. Never wanted to try them. Here's one for y'all. Do y'all like because I really love these. Do y'all like frog legs? Because I love me some frog legs. Some grilled frog legs. I'm telling you. Get them from your local butcher. They have them packed up. It's just the legs. You could tell they're frog legs too. So much muscle on the meat. You know what I'm saying? I love it. One of my favorite things. One of my favorite foods, honestly. Cook them up on the grill. Get some grill marks on them. I know what you guys are going to say. I know what y'all going to say. But no. Frog legs are my jam. That's my jam. For sure. Yeah, coleslaw nasty. I'm missing out on the chitlins. Pig feet. Yeah. Kenny says top 5 candy bars or candy. Candy, I'd say probably my favorite. I'm gonna go Skittles number 1. I'm gonna go probably something sour. Got to be up there. I can't say Sour Patch Kids. I think the Sour Patch Kids are way overrated. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I definitely have to put Skittles up there at number 1. Those Scooby-Doo fruit snacks, I had those as a kid. Those probably got to be my number 1. I haven't had them in years, but those used to have me in a choke hold. Telling you. Skittles my number 1 though. Yeah, y'all got to try frog legs. Better than chicken wings. They taste so good. And yes, I like frog legs, but not potato salad, Tila. Skittles equals cavities. Yeah, I don't eat candy all that much. Breaking off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. No, Kit Kat's disgusting. No. If we're talking about chocolate bars, Twix all day. Twix. I don't care for no Reese's. I don't care for no Kit Kat. I don't care for no Mr. Good bar. No, get it all out of my face. Give me a Twix. That's what I like. Peanut M&Ms. Never been an M&Ms guy either. Never been an M&Ms guy. I just felt like they were like the worst version of Skittles, right? They were just like the worst version of Skittles. That's just me, Other candies, like I said, I wasn't really a huge candy guy growing up. I was honestly more of a fruit and vegetables guy. You ask me about fruit and vegetables, that's my jam right there. I'm talking peaches, I'm talking plums, I'm talking goddamn apples, oranges, clementines, I'm talking grapes, I'm talking grapefruit, I'm talking blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, I'm talking strawberries, everything. When it comes to fruit, that's my jam. Watermelon, though, overrated. Watermelon, overrated. Get out of my face. Don't need it. It's nothing. It's 95% water. Literally, it feels like somebody's playing with me because, most fruits you eat are sweet, very juicy, fall off the bone type juicy too. Watermelon is just like, it feels like I'm eating like watery styrofoam with red dye on it. That's what it feels like. It's a pointless fruit. I've never been a big fan. I mean, if it's around and it's the only thing around, yeah, I'll eat it. Because again, I'm a fruit guy, but it's definitely on the bottom of the fruit totem pole for me. No good. No good. Sugar melons. Never heard of those. That sounds interesting though. Sounds interesting. Shelly says, come down south. I mean, what are we talking, like Georgia, somewhere around there? I mean, maybe they'll be better. I want a Georgia peach, though. I heard those are supposed to be good. Peaches, I mean, if we talk about favorite top 3 fruits, I go peaches. Peaches, I'm going to go grapefruit. Very underrated. Grapefruit is very underrated. You could argue with your mama, but grapefruit is one of them ones. And then I'll probably go blackberries. Those are my top 3 fruits. Those are my top 3. Somebody asked about top 3 or top 5 vegetables. Veggies, man, I'm gonna have to go. This is a really tough one for me. I'm gonna have to go collard greens number 1. Just classic, right? You can give me my black card back now, right? I'm gonna go. What else? I've been a big fan of Brussels recently. My girl makes these Brussels really, really good, where she puts like a drizzle of like syrup on them. Fire. So I'll go Brussels sprouts. And then my third one, she's just tough. It's tough. I don't know about the third one. I got to think about it. Let's check out the chat. Shout out to everybody watching live. If you're part of the replay gang, shout out to you. Pineapple. And Sip to Tally says grilled pineapple. Never had the grilled pineapple, but pineapple just as is, solid fruit. I like pineapple. Can I say I love it? No, but I really like it. I just don't love it. Good fruit though. Good fruit. Asparagus. Ooh, yeah, that's one. Oh yeah, but spinach. I'm gonna have to go spinach. Spinach is just like, that's in my top 3 for sure. Asparagus is like maybe top 5 for me, but spinach is in my top 3. Fried plantain, get it out of here. Nope. Not doing it. Sorry, Taurus. I've tried that before many a times. I just don't like what tastes like a grilled banana, like a hot banana. You know what I'm saying? Like if a banana was sitting out in the oven for, not me. Not for me. Sorry. Not for me. Coach, renewing the membership. Appreciate you, Coach. Appreciate that. As Coach says, we locked in. And we're going to be on live later, too. She says, I don't know about you, Sutton. I mean, look, I'm very particular when it comes to my foods. Very particular, Spinach, broccoli, and Brussels. Broccoli's up there. What's going on, Prod? Didn't even see you in there. Appreciate you for pulling up. Another one of our members here in the house. But yeah. Let me see. Another question here. Remember, drop some more questions, y'all. Sip to Tyler says, do y'all like oxtails? I've never had them. I like oxtails. That I do enjoy. I mean, it's not something that I have to have. You know what I mean? But like oxtails, when I do get my hands on some, I do like to indulge a little bit. It's just, the meat's normally very tender, very flavorful. But I feel like more of a steak guy. I prefer the steak just because it's a little bit more, I guess you could say chewier, gamier a little bit. That's how I prefer it. Boston baked beans. Never had Boston baked beans before. King Lee. Never had that. I'd also love toast bread with some cheese, carols on it, and ketchup as a sandwich. Brother, what? What did he just say? Hold on, let me see. What was that? King Blaze? I'd also love toast bread with some cheese carols on it. What are cheese carols? And ketchup as a sandwich. Okay. Oh, cheese curls. Okay. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to envision what that would look like. Cheese curls on toasted bread with ketchup. Where's the meat, brother? Pause. Deer meat's not bad. Deer is not bad. Sushi, get it out of here. Never been a fan of sushi. I tried it again for the first time in a long time, I think last year. Couldn't even finish it. Paid like $12 for a little plate. They come in, little plates or whatever. Trash. Garbage. I like fish, but just, it's got to be cooked, right? I don't like any of the raw. No. Nope. Not my thing. Shark tacos. What are those? Shark tacos. I mean, I guess just shark meat in a taco. I've never heard of that. World Class says, where's the meat, brother? Is crazy. That's why I paused it. Don't worry about it. I paused it. All types of sushi. Hell no. As Modi says, I'm Asian with one of the most diverse taste buds you'll meet. Yeah, give me a suggestion. Give me something I can go to the store and pick up, Asmodeus, that I can try. I'm open to trying stuff. I'm not like completely closed off unless it's potato salad, unless it's cornbread, unless it's most sushi. If you can give me some good cooked sushi, maybe I'll consider. But yeah, a couple of those ones, man. You guys already know my Thanksgiving takes. The stuffing, the cranberry sauce. I know Thanksgiving's in the rearview mirror, but no. Question for you guys, and everybody in the chat too. Question for everybody in the chat. What do you guys make for Christmas dinner? Right? Christmas is in 9 days. What do you do for Christmas dinner? What's like your family's tradition? Asmodeus says, how adventurous do you want to be? On a scale of 1 to 10, give me about a 7. Give me about a 7. So not way far out there, but like good enough for me to experience something that would be objectively new to me, right? So stuffing and dressing, 2 different things. Yeah, I've heard. It definitely is, because stuffing back home up north is like is nasty. It's like dry and whatnot, but this dressing is like actually like it's got more in it, and it's just got a much better texture. And I realized that when I moved down south. So, and yes, I am picky. I am. Closer says similar to Thanksgiving. But isn't that boring though? Don't you gotta do something a little bit different? You can't just do turkey, right? Y'all do turkey on Christmas? I was thinking like maybe like a honey baked ham on Christmas. That could be like the main character. Maybe do some, I don't know, some chicken wings or something like that. And, of course, you're going to have your regular sides, your vegetables and whatnot. Like that can all stay, that can be kind of close to Thanksgiving. But I don't know, man. I'm just not a big fan of doubling down on the turkey. Like back-to-back months with turkey, like huge turkey dinners, I'm good. I think I'm all set on the turkey for just one go around per year. That's just me, though. That's just me. Lamb chops on Christmas. That's divine right there. That sounds good. That sounds good. Bison burgers, never tried that. Bison steaks, never tried that. For meat, have I ever tried duck? Have I ever tried duck? No, I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever tried duck before. Never tried duck. Sounds interesting though. Sounds interesting. But let me see here. Thanksgiving on Christmas. Hell no. On Christmas is just presents, no food. Now you gotta have the food, man. I mean, Christmas is like such like a it's I love it. Like the schedule, I feel like everybody does the schedule for their holidays different, per their household. Like how they on Thanksgiving, some people eat at like noon, some people eat at like 4 or 5 o'clock, some people don't even eat until like 8, 9. It's like on Christmas, what time do you open gifts for one, and then what time do you cook and do you eat, right? I would assume those of you guys living in households with children, you probably open gifts very, very early on Christmas Day, just because you kind of have to, right? I remember when I was a kid, shoot, Christmas Day, I'd be the first one up and out of bed, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm making the coffee before my folks even get out of bed. You know what I mean? Like, but that's just how it was. Some people don't. Some people, I guess, would probably not open them up till later, though. Open gifts when everyone is up. Coach says grown kids, so I sleep in and send cash apps when I wake up. Oh, man. Hey, the cash app, man, you can't never go wrong with the cash apps, especially for the grown. If your children are grown, a good cash app can go a long way. Can go a long way. You know what I mean? You can save the socks and T-shirts and or whatever else. Just send straight cash. That's good. That's good. It's a very solid gift. Very solid gift. Remember back when you were a kid and your folks or whoever in your family used to get you, sweaters and hoodies and socks and stuff like that. And you'd be like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. I like this. I mean, appreciate it. I appreciate it. But like you was ready to get to the next gift to see if it was that PlayStation or that Nintendo or that Xbox or that new toy or whatever. You know what I mean? But now when you get older, you love that stuff. You love that stuff. Love that stuff. Tila says my son wants a MacBook. I'm gonna get it though. I know that's right. Need to get me a new MacBook. Sometimes mom be tripping. That's why Purple Rain's been tripping at the beginning of the episodes. The last 2 episodes, me and Alex have been on mute when we go on live. It's been killing me. I don't know if it's my laptop. I don't know if it's the streaming software, but I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream here. This has been episode 5 of Sutton Reactions. Had a lot of fun today, guys, reacting to some videos, getting into some of you guys' questions. It's been great. Make sure for tomorrow's episode, please make sure for tomorrow's episode, you send some topics to me at SuttonDef on Twitter or Instagram so I can bring them up live here on the show, and I will shout you out if you send it to me. I'd appreciate that. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoyed the content that you just consumed. But I will catch up with you guys later today on Coach's channel. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.